Hi, Theo. So I just want to make a little announcement. I'm going to ask you guys for your feedback after the show because Friends of Camp Mather does so much for us. They bring us curtains, better beds, if you can believe that, tables, and all sorts of things. It's a wonderful organization. And so because the city coffers have been so low and we don't have a lot of revenue, we have like a splinters kind of group or a subgroup, a sleeper cell, if you will, Acquaintances of Camp Mather. And what we do is get together and ideate and think of ways to generate revenue. So what I'd like you to do, I have 3 things on our agenda that we'll bring to the next Friends of Camp Mather meeting, but we'd like your input. So the first thing that we thought would work really well was to designate one of the smaller cabins as the conjugal cabin. And we would rent it out at 30-minute increments. We were going to do 15 minutes, but we need time to get it ready. And we thought that we could make a lot of quick money this way. And because this is a family camp, and we want the camp to reflect the values of San Francisco, and the Supreme Court, mind you, I want to say that. It would be available only to people over 18, married couples, or registered domestic partners. Now, somebody asked about species, and we said no animals would be allowed. But other than that, it would be available for rent. The second thing we thought, I don't know, Ben, how many of you have visited the nurse this week? So another thing, well, a few of us, I had stitches taken out. We have a full-time nurse here, and we think that's a wonderful thing. But other people suggested, because we have so many mental health workers in our midst, we have many therapists, psychologists, social workers, that it might be a nice idea to have like full-time mental health available. And those people would handle dining room conflicts, they would handle cases of extreme pediatric fatigue and overstimulation, and we might be able to even get another cabin, like for meltdowns, like a timeout cabin. Let us know if that interests you. People asked if the person would be able to dispense Xanax or Ambien, and we would not be able to do that. Nobody asked about Viagra, but nonetheless, we thought that might be something that would help our stay while we're at Camp Mather. The last thing, what was the last thing? They would also offer workshops. One would be how to transition your feral child back into the urban landscape. And then another workshop would be packing up without packing it up, keeping familiar harmony while coming to and leaving Camp Mather. And then the third thing, we wanted to discuss political correctness. We used to have a skit here that was called the Dating Game Skit. And if you've been coming, for 50 years or so, you're familiar with the skit. The clincher is that after the dating game, it's the winner, whatever, the person the date chosen is a male, usually a male staff member dressed as a female. And some people found that, one person found that offensive. So they stopped it. We didn't have it this year. And then we also we thought about it more, and we thought Old MacDonald had a farm, that might be ageist. So we'd like to address that. And then that whole idea about Bingo was a dog, B-I-N-G-O, Bingo was a dog. How do we know that Bingo was a he and not a bitch? So we thought that these are important things to cover in our next meeting. And then the last thing I didn't know that's a female dog. And, the whole thing is, if anyone, I don't think that we would ever cast aspersions to people who cross-dress, because while we're all here, I'm sorry, but we all look like cross-dressers while we're here. I don't know. And I'm wearing men's tighty-whities as I speak. And the last thing that we had was we'd like to have a haiku contest based on, our experiences here in the Sierra. And I want to share one. I got inspired by a lot of the cyclists I see. And so a haiku is 575, right? So this is speed cyclist plummets, wingless bird in black spandex sets final record. So if anyone has a haiku they'd like to share, we can put that in. We'll also have a haiku contest. Again, we really would like your feedback on these 3 ideas. And we're in the tent site that has the big satellite dish, and we're over there. So